Welcome back to Years in Glory, everybody. Today we are covering whatever the heck is going on at Alpine. So, my correspondent here, looks like you were holding a microphone, so I'm going to hold my microphone. My correspondent here, my resident Alpine fan, is going to walk us through, the whirlwind of emotions and fears, maybe more fears, that are going on now. So, let's just kick it off with the actual points of news.
Yeah.
Two big ones. So we've got Franco in for Jack on one side, and then we've got Oli Oakes swapped with Flavio Briatore as official team principal.
I mean, I don't know where to start because, maybe we start with Oli Oakes because, there's not as much to talk about within that, but, there's also a lot. Maybe that's a nice way to,
yeah,
debut this. I don't know. But,
I'm on this ride with you right now.
It's a tough time to be an Aussie Alpine fan, and I think I'm one of the only ones. So it's a really tough time. If I cry, mind your business. The heartbreak Alpine fans are witnessing right now.
It's tough because I think it calls into question too, how long are rookies supposed to, not that I think this is actually related to giving, I don't necessarily think it's related to giving someone enough time to try something out as a rookie.
Yeah.
I think it's got to do more with all of the other team changes and preferences and maybe sponsorship there, but it also kind of calls into question how long do you give a rookie before you decide whether or not you want to keep them. But then also Franco coming in, he only has a certain number of races in his contract, so it's Imola through X race.
Let's start with the Franco Jack side because I feel like there's a lot more that we need to consider here because yes, they've said bye Jack. Flavio said we want a rotational seat, which I don't know what you mean by that. You're giving Franco 5 races, and then after that, we still have 13 races left in the season. You can only have one more driver. So if Pierre, God forbid, has an accident and can't drive for a bit, you only have one car. If you put someone in after Franco, you can only have 4 drivers between the 2 cars over a season. So if somebody replaces Franco, they're either going to have to hope and pray nothing happens to Pierre and he doesn't get sick, or they're going to have one car running.
Well, and it also screws a driver's ability to have an actual backlog and data set of races and performance to look back on. So how they're performing in that car during that season becomes so largely limited that not only does it screw over their World Drivers' Championship, no offense, but not that Alpine was going to be in the top, but still for in the midfield where they're looking so strong, let's not forget how Pierre performed recently.
Yep.
It's stealing these drivers' abilities to advocate for themselves and look back at given data and results because they're constantly being swapped in and out. Changes are being made based off of one or another's preferences.
Yeah.
You've got only one consistent driver in the car, which is Pierre, and well, we'll get to that.
He's that consistent sometimes. I love him, but sometimes Miami, what the heck was that? Doesn't matter. I think this is the issue. This comes back to what we've spoken about all of the middle of last year and the end of last year. The question comes, what the fuck does a contract mean to a driver these days? You know what I mean?
I mean, that's the question though. That's why I would love to see what's in them. Did Jack have something in there where if his performance wasn't at XYZ place, they could swap in another driver and they just never told him that Franco Colapinto's waiting in the wings?
It must have. For the fact that as soon as they dropped, can we also discuss, they never posted about Jack before switching in Franco, much like Williams did with the Franco and Logan Sargent swap. They announced Franco before announcing the departure. And I think, we all know Liv works in media PR. This is my brain, right? And from a PR standpoint, dumb for the team, for the fans, for everything. Alpine's post said nothing except Franco Colapinto will be racing for Alpine for the next 5 races. Now, obviously, we knew it was Jack Doohan because the rumours...
It's not going to be Pierre. Yeah.
They never specified which driver he was taking over, and without announcing that another driver was leaving, I was sat there going, shit, what if they prank us all and they do drop Pierre? Because...
yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me. Do you know who Jack Doohan's manager is?
No.
Flavio Briatore,
Okay.
the team principal that dropped his own client. What? Do you know what I mean? Like, so that point, I was sort of like, okay, if Oli Oakes has resigned, Flavio stepped in. What if he's like, you know what? No, I'm not dropping Jack Doohan like you wanted to, Ollie. We're dropping Pierre. I'm not dropping my client. And for a
So
minute,
do
I was
you
scared.
wait? Because I this whole time have been like convinced that the Franco Jack swap has been Flavio's idea.
Yeah, a lot of people have been, and that's where I'm like, I
Perhaps not.
and you know, clearly everybody thought that because Alpine had to, after saying they will not be making any more statements on Oli Oakes leaving, they had to bring out a statement to say that, you know, everyone's assuming that like Oli left because of conflicting interests with Flavio,
Right.
like we're aligned, and everyone was like he had a gun to his head while he was saying that. I think, like, I just don't get it. Do you know what I mean?
It feels like there's so much like what I wouldn't give to be a fly on the wall, you know, in the Alpine headquarters, like in the important rooms, because I don't think we have even close, like remotely close to what the picture is. I think this is like not like smoke and mirrors in sense to like distract, but like smoke and mirrors in the sense that like, I mean, yeah, maybe they just don't want us to know, but like there's just like it feels like there's like so much going on behind that this is
Yeah.
like not even the tip of the iceberg. This is like a snowflake.
Yeah, literally. It really feels like Jack Doohan stole Charlotte Claire's nickname of ill president predes. Whoa, I can't speak today. Il predestinado, because this man was predestined to be dropped by Miami. You know what I mean? I guess
Yeah,
it would be a good time to bring in the Oliver Oakes thing. I mean, I'm an Alpine fan because I love Jack, I love Pierre, but guess what? Your girl loved Oli Oakes.
I thought he did a really good job after Bruno Fama left. Like I think he actually did a really good job with the team.
Yeah. And you know what? He's always done really well with high tech GP, which is when I started liking him. I was like, okay, I like this bloke. So when he got announced to Alpine, I was like, heck yeah, he's gonna give us some like F2 drivers to be given a good chance.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a lot of rumors going around, obviously, why he left. Some of those being that he disagreed with Flavio, which Alpine's shut down, but doesn't mean it's not true. The
Yeah.
other big one, which we were discussing this morning in the group chat, which is fucking insane. Oliver Oakes' brother, William, was arrested, and the rumor mill news outlets are saying that he was arrested because he was found with a large sum of unexplainable money. I don't know about you guys, but my brain's now thinking, did he somehow steal it from High Tech or Alpine? Did Oliver steal this for him? Is Oliver just leaving because he didn't want his like brother's issues to get involved with the team? Like, what the F is going on?
It's too like too big to be just a coincidence. Like it feels more.
And the exact timing, like,
Yeah. That's what I'm saying though. Like I don't like. There's so many factors, and I don't think we have remotely close to like anything that's real behind. Like obviously they've just told us like it wasn't because there was a disagreement, which again might be false. But like they haven't said anything like I don't know. A lot of times like when there's departures like that, people are pretty honest about like what they're looking for. Like Adrian Newey, we all knew he went to Aston Martin because he wanted a project that would make sense for him. And like there's a lot of other factors in there that kind of explain the context of like the Honda engine and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Also, Lawrence Stroll is made of money. So like who wouldn't want to go work for him?
Exactly.
But there's like when there's big moves like this, we usually get like a little more. But also the gossip in me, I'm rubbing my hands together like a little fly. Oh, I love this. I love not knowing because that means things are going to happen.
Yeah, and like another aspect that like I also question, everyone's assuming that the Flavio and I saw eye to eye is relating to Jack Doohan being dropped. But like I also wonder, High Tech was owned and created by Oli Oakes, right? And that's like the F2, F3 team and F1 Academy maybe. I don't know, don't quote me. But there was talks that Alpine was going to buy High Tech and it was just going to become like one big thing, right? I'm wondering whether that was a disagreement, something they didn't see eye to eye with. And Ollie said, well, F you, if you're not going to support me and like my little team, I'm not helping you guys how I have and I'm effing off. Like,
Yeah.
There's so much to consider, and there's so much like, well, it could be this, it could be this, and I want to know it all.
Well, yeah, because there's also like people can leave because they want to leave, but they can also leave because they're asked to leave, which is just short of being kicked out.
Yeah, like they could.
And that's where we don't have any like information.
Yeah, it could have been like a you need to quit, otherwise we're firing you. This will look
Yeah.
you like. There's so much like what if could be like. Do you know what I mean? Like it's driving me insane, but also I'm like, it feels like we said before. It feels bigger than the like outside that we're seeing. If that makes sense, like
Yeah.
tip of
Well,
the
and to double back to the Franco thing, Britt, shout out Britt, who is on
not good.
just really dealing with migraine today. We love you, Britt. But Britt sent an ad that has Franco Colapinto receiving some sort of, maybe I think it's Argentinian like post delivery something. It's a box. He gets a box. His helmet's in it, and it's like, I don't know, like an Iron Man moment where he like pulls out the helmet and is like, they need me, right? And so he's like ready to go, and in the ad he says, oh well, I'll see you in Imola. But Britt had pointed out that Franco had posted on his story that he had been filming that a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, also not to mention when we got the announcement of Franco as reserve driver at Alpine, that little sneaky bugger went straight to his Instagram bio and said F1 driver at Alpine F1 Team. You know what I mean? He went straight for it. We knew
Yeah.
December. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
very badly hidden secret.
Yeah, well, and all of the memes, like the F1 community, like has clocked it because all of the memes of like object and mirror is closer than might appear, and it's like Jack driving and just like Franco sprinting behind the car. It's been like people have clocked it, but like I don't know. I feel like we always want it to be less cutthroat. And like there's this side of me that like wants it to be a little bit more feel good and wants there to be a little bit more gentleness. But also there's the part of me that like wants to see them draw blood and like is absolutely like I said, rubbing my hands together over this because this is exciting. This is like, I talk about why I love F1, and obviously I love the competitive nature. I love how fast they go. I love the technicality of it, but I also love that it's cutthroat and it's a gossip sport.
Yeah,
it's a gossip sport, and this is why, because things like this happen and we get to talk about them.
Yeah, literally. That might honestly, genuinely, I think silly season's my favorite part of the year. And
yeah.
Like, okay, no, maybe not last year's silly season. That kind of like made me dizzy. There was too much.
I was dizzy. I was crying the whole time.
Yeah,
like I didn't know what was happening.
But
like, I was jumping up and down because I was excited. All of it.
I mean, this silly season, I think it's the end of this year. Most drivers are out of contract, so it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it's like everybody who didn't sign.
Yeah,
now
Russell is out of contract.
That's the big one.
Talking to McLaren, we're seeing him talking to Red Bull.
Right. Well, the thing that I saw, which I have no memory of what the account was, but if you go to my Instagram following, they're in there. Somewhere. They said that if Max is not in the top 2 by like the first something races, like he's allowed to like dip.
Yeah, by summer break.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's really changed because like I think we spoke about a couple episodes ago that like originally what everyone was hearing was that the rumor was if Max drops out of the top 4 or something in the driver's standings, he can activate his exit clause. But clearly Red Bull's like really trying to convince him to stay and is like, if you're not in P2 by summer break, go. And like, in all honesty, everyone's like, why would Max go? He's in a winning car, blah, blah. I don't know. His life's better than it needs to be. Max himself said there's no point sitting around winning championship after championship. Like, he doesn't need that. And I think his contract ends at the end of next year. Do you know what I mean? So if not, and like, I think by the end of next year, he'll be gone. And that seems...
Yeah. Wasn't there like also like a rumor or like people talking about, or Max having said maybe himself that like he wants to have a family and like have kids and like, and that would maybe be a point where he would consider retiring. Like that's something that I've heard as well. And like, obviously congratulations, Max Verstappen, Big Daddy, I should say,
Daddy.
And Kelly Piquet, and those genes in that baby are going to be insane if she wants to go into racing. But also like, just a side note, like I love that I think Max has come out and said like, my kid can do whatever they want. I just want happy kids. I want a happy life. And like, I think that's why I'm wearing my Max Verstappen shirt. Max Verstappen, we love you. But I like used to really not like Max Verstappen. Like when I was watching Drive to Survive, like going through the pipeline of like, oh my god, yeah, I'm gonna be obsessed with this for a number of years.
Yeah.
I remember like when Max and Esteban Ocon got into like an altercation and they're like yelling at each other.
Yeah.
Like, I remember being like, oh, no, I don't like either of them because violence is not the answer. And now I'm like, we need to bring punching back into F1. Bring Michael Schumacher back. Let them chase each other down the pit lane.
Yeah.
But like I've really, and also this is thanks to my friend Jack, who's a huge Max Verstappen fan. But like it's also seeing people grow in real time and like just age and mature and like your frontal lobe develops, which is also like Jack has a huge crash. His frontal lobe isn't developed.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen to his brain? You know,
Scrambled.
Stuff like that. But like Max might very well just like retire or at least take a leave of absence to like spend time with his family because it's not like the F1 calendar is very much designed to give you family time.
No.
So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how we got here in the conversation.
No, neither.
But exit clauses and contracts and stuff.
Oh yes, contracts meaning.
Because like, what does the contract mean anymore? But like, that's my question because you've been following for longer than I have. I don't think contracts have been such a hot topic or so like broadly and clearly discussed until more recently.
Yeah, and I mean the biggest like Red Bull's always been bad for a contract being nothing, but like not to the extent like this where a driver's losing a seat in F1. Red Bull's always like they've always switched their drivers between Toro Rosso and
Red
Bull. Like that's how Daniel Ricciardo got his seat. That's how Max Verstappen got his seat. Stole the girlfriend and the daughter, but that's another fucking story. Red Bull's always been terrible like that, but not as terrible, like because they're still giving that driver a seat, a chance. So they're saying like, yes, your contract's no longer with like the heavier team. You're still gonna have a drive. We're not kicking you out of F1. And I think that's like the worst we've seen of it. Like, I mean, I'm lying again because that's how Pierre Gasly got his seat.
I was gonna say Pierre, Alex. Those are the two I can think of before it was Checo.
Yeah, well, but like
no, before it was Danny Rick, and then it was Checo.
Pierre started halfway through the 2017 season. At the beginning of the season, he didn't have a seat, and he begun his race in like the middle of the 2017.
But like to be swapped down is like you still get to have those stats. Like yes, you're not in a similar car, but like for that car's given performance, like for a midfield car, if you're like didn't then Pierre Gasly go on to win a race?
Yeah, in the turn.
So like you still get to have that under your belt and like hard evidence for like your negotiations later on if you're like re-signing with a team or signing with another one or just want to remain competitive and stay in the sport. Like we know how cutthroat it is.
Yeah.
There's plenty of examples from recent history to point out and be like, yeah, they got kicked out because they just weren't cutting it anymore.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know that, like, I know we talked about this, but like, I don't know that this is happening to Jack because of that.
No, this was predestined. In all honesty, I think this is like a Daniel Ricciardo situation all over again. You know how last year Red Bull was last year or the year before, 2023, they were very like careful. They were like, yeah, he's our media person. And then 6 months later, after his like McLaren agreement ended, they're like, actually get in the seat. And I think that's what they've done with Franco. I think that like they would have bought him out of his Williams contract. And they would have said, like, you're not allowed to drive until this date. And I unfortunately think Imola meets that date. And I think that's why Doohan probably knew he was in on a short contract, saying, you know, we have plans to put Franco in at this date. This is when his contract ends.
Yeah.
If you can prove us otherwise, we will keep you in. And that's why that radio message, I'm pretty sure it's from Miami, absolutely freaking haunts me. In qualifying, he was like screaming, almost crying. He was like, you can't tell me to slow down for Pierre to get him in my slipstream when it's then losing me time. Like, tell him to catch up. And that's why he keeps getting knocked out in Q1. He's like, this isn't fair. Like, you're not giving me a try. I'll find the message and I'll send it in the group chat. But like, it actually breaks my heart because even he could recognize that even though he must have known the stakes, he must have known perform by here or you're out. But even then, he knows that the team was sacrificing him and wasn't allowing him to give it his best shot.
Yeah, and that's why we're like, it's tough because your teammate is always your biggest competitor, and you like especially you'll never be able to live up, especially if there's like a clear one too.
Yeah.
Like we're seeing the exact opposite with McLaren, which has been incredible content to watch. But
Yeah.
for all of the other teams, there's like maybe like Williams also doesn't have a clear one too, but like Alpine, it's Pierre.
Yeah.
You know, Red Bull, it's Max. I feel like even Mercedes, their heart and energy is with Kimmy,
Yeah.
but like that doesn't stop George Russell from getting third. But he's also like not a rookie, knows the car, knows the tracks. I don't know. I don't think it's very fair.
This is like another level of cutthroat. Like another
Yeah.
level. Because
Yeah, Flavio scares me.
I get, you know what? That's a good point to bridge into like my next topic. This is your Alpine Pierre Gasly correspondent for real speaking right now. And just me speaking from a place of concern and being really torn. I don't know where Pierre goes from here. And that's going to sound so dumb because what does this have to do with Pierre Gasly? Everyone's screaming at Liv right now. I'll tell you. Flavio Briatore. That's what this has to do with Pierre. If you've watched any of our episodes back from last year's summer break where we spoke about Crashgate and like all that sort of stuff, you will know why I am so stressed right now because Flavio Briatore as team principal, I'm in two minds. Does Pierre leave or go? No, stay or go. Because
he leaves and he goes.
He leaves and he goes. You can't stay. In my mind, who doesn't want to stay at a team where Flavio Briatore is team principal? That man gets what he wants. But in that same thought, who wants to stay at a team where Flavio Briatore is team principal? Because that man cheats. And like,
yeah,
obviously it's not going to happen. The car needs to improve a lot before it could, but he'll steal the reason.
but like that's the scary bit is like the potential is so there because what was it, Bahrain?
Good car, like they're good. And that's scary for me because I've chosen midfield team for a freaking reason, and I'm scared.
Yeah.
But like, what if Pierre somehow miraculously wins a championship or Alpine wins a constructors championship?
You would never want that called into question.
No, because like you know what, this man cheats in mysterious ways.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's follow the Flavio Briatore pipeline was.
Oh my god.
Was like way back Crashgate, right?
Oh god, yeah.
The man gets banned. The man, I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm saying that with my chest hard enough.
Yeah.
The man gets banned.
And that's
capital B banned from the sport.
Banned. He's banned. How is he here? Like.
And you know who actually had the appropriate amount of exasperation is Podium Sundays on Instagram posted about this, and I'll have to send you guys the reel.
Yeah.
But they were like short of screaming bloody murder.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the correct amount of emotion.
This is how angry you should be.
This is how afraid, angry, this is how much of everything you should be feeling right now. Like that's the appropriate.
Yeah.
That's the correct amount. Because how do you get banned and then everyone's just like, oh, it's okay.
He randomly walked back into the paddock at the end of last year and everyone was like, oh hey, Flavio's back. No, not us. Yeah. They're going, how?
Because it was like, that's the thing. It wasn't like a timed ban. Like you are, like excommunicated for X amount of years. No, it was lifetime ban, which usually means until you die, as far as I know.
Yeah. Literally.
And as far as I know, Flavio Briatore, alive.
Yeah, literally.
Like, and like there was this whole thing where like he could have contested it and sued and like gotten his ability to be back in the sport reinstated. But like, did any of that happen or did he just like, is he like what?
Yeah.
What?
Because like, there's all the rumors that maybe he did sue and whatnot, but like, surely we would have heard more about that. We couldn't hear about Felipe Massa bloody like suing over that year and like trying to get his championship reinstated. Like, it's been 15 fucking years. Give it up, Felipe. Like, do you know what I mean? You're 1 second as world champions, not coming back. But like, Flavio just seemingly didn't fight back at all and just said, stuff you guys, I'm better than you, I'm just going to walk back into the paddock. Like,
yeah, we have to. Like, if something happened, there's no way somebody wasn't going to report. If we get leaked text messages from Christian Horner's phone, like, how are we not hearing about a whole court case?
Like, are we about to hear about Crashgate again? Like, is that why Jack Doohan's been crashing? And they're, like, getting rid of him before, like, they can say, you cheated. with what? We don't have him as a driver anymore. He kept crashing, so we got rid of him. Like, is this what they're doing now? He's realizing, like, hey, back in 2007, contracts weren't this flexible, but you know what? In 2025, they are. So we're going to crash gate all over again, but we're going to drop the driver, so there's no evidence of it anymore. Like, what?
Yeah.
What is happening? That probably sounds so dramatic, and everyone's going to be like, that is the dumbest thing. These, like, males on Instagram and TikTok are going to tell us to stop talking again, like they always do. If you guys don't follow our Instagram or TikTok, I'm telling you, these men in our comment section genuinely say, stop talking. That's their words.
I hate to break it to them. This is literally a podcast where what you're supposed to do is talk.
What do you want us to do? Just stare at you?
Now, listen, I don't pretend to be an expert, but do I love to talk? Yes. Will I continue? Yes. There's no stopping this yapping.
This and yap.
Yeah.
Really.
Flavio Briatore and yap.
Yeah, literally. Because, like, this is where I'm so in two minds, though. I love, but I hate Flavio. Because, like, I love him.
Yeah.
That's what he wants. But I'm gonna want, I'm gonna want to have a little word with him if he ruins Alpine for me.
Yeah, he frightens me. Like, genuinely, I think he feels like the villain in a Bond movie. Because he's rich. He's got the sunglasses.
Yeah.
And I just don't know genuinely, he frightens me.
He's genuinely Helmut Marko, but scarier and, like, more able.
I think I would, okay, all right, here you go. And we'll have to ask Britt this too. Would you rather have to spend like an hour locked in a room with Flavio Briatore or Helmut Marko?
Actually, can I raise you one here? I would like to be stuck on a plane with one of them either side of me.
Okay.
I think that would be interesting. Because, like, would they want to fight each other? Like, they're both so
probably
hot-headed and, like, strong opinions and, like, I'm right, you can't be right. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
I want to see what happens.
Well,
like,
hold on. Here's another game. Fuck, marry, kill, but we need a third person.
No, let's spice this up more. James Vows.
Okay, no. Okay, no.
Kill, banned from F1. Kill feels a little bit mean.
Okay, banned from F1.
Ban them from F1. Kiss, marry, banned from F1. Okay, I'll start. Oh, she dropped out when I raised my arm. That was scary.
Oh, no, it was like, oh, do you want effects?
I went like this and then your screen just went black. I was like, oh.
No, am I back now?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, good.
I've got this in the bag.
Okay.
Kiss, Helmut Marko, because I don't want to marry him. Marry Flavio, because like I said, I really like him. He just scares me.
Okay.
You know who I'm banning from F1. Get James
out.
The fuck out of here. James, it's Olivia. Fuck off. I cannot stand that man, and I don't know why. We're so going off topic here, but this is the same thing with team issues. Why the hell is everybody loving James Vows now he's Williams' team principal? Do we forget what he did at fucking Mercedes? Do we forget how horrible of a person he was? And we're just like, oh, he's sleeping with Carlos. We all love him now. Like, what? Sorry, I know you're a Williams girl, but like,
I kind of am.
Yeah, I know, but like,
and that's the worst part is I think I've turned a corner on James Vows.
So, with all due respect,
because the car is performing well, and Alex Albon and Carlos Sainz are like getting good results, and we know I'm a Carlos Sainz girl. Like, look me in my Carlos Sainz eyes and tell me I'm not a Carlos Sainz
girl.
Oh my god!
I should kiss Mary banned from F1. I'm scared.
Yeah, you should be.
Is that a threat?
I'm scared. Yeah, it's a threat. I think I'm also gonna kiss Helmut Marko. I think I'm going to marry James Vows, and I think I'm gonna ban Flavio from F1 because he's so genuinely scary to me. I feel like I could have James Vows figured out.
Yeah.
I don't think I could figure out Helmut Marko. I don't think so.
I mean, I raised you a follow-up question. Can you ban somebody who's already banned from F1?
I mean, apparently not. You can't even ban him the first time. Maybe that's what he's trying to have happen. Like, if you get 2, then they cancel out, like, multiplying negatives.
Actually, I changed my answer, because what's wrong with me? As much as I hate James Vows, I'll kiss him. I don't want to kiss the freaking raisin. Ban him from F1. He's too old. He shouldn't be here anyway. But I stand on marrying Flavio. I think that would be...
You know what? And that's so brave of you to say.
Honestly, probably not my smartest idea. I have kids, and even he has kids who he's just doesn't acknowledge.
Well,
But like,
okay, here's the thing. He has a hot younger wife,
yeah.
girlfriend?
Mm.
Question mark.
Girlfriend. Let's be real. I don't think that man can commit.
Yeah. He's funny because he's got swag, but he's also so scary.
Yeah, he's like a cutie, but also like Sour Patch Kid. He's a Sour Patch Kid.
I
Sweet.
think I'm more afraid of him than you are. I
No,
think if I saw him, I'd cross the street.
really?
Yeah,
Well,
he scares me.
I think I'd square up to him. I'd be like, "You want to try me, Flavio? I'm the world's biggest Alpine fan, and you think you can beat me right now? I'll fucking take your job. How about that?" I think I would just intimidate.
I think we should put you in charge. It should
What?
be like that. If you can kill your boss, you should get their job. And now that I'm saying it out loud, I realize how insane that sounds.
Hello to Soph's new job. She doesn't want to kill you.
My poor manager. He's been really dealing with me this week.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, he's scary to me.
No, yeah. I think I like scary men.
Well,
Problem.
I don't.
No. Oh my god, while we're on the topic of Alpine, this needs to go on our Alpine episode here. If you guys aren't aware, we're about to film back-to-back Alpine and Miami episodes just because it didn't feel right to put them in the one episode. But this feels more Alpine
Pressing.
episode than Miami episode. You know, back in the day on TikTok, we had that female dentist lady who like spoke about veneers, and she like called out whether every F1 driver has veneers or not. Okay, we have a hair transplant dude now, and he fully just exposed Pierre for 100% having a hair transplant in Turkey over the weekend.
What do you mean exposed? We could all tell.
No, but he was like, "This is 100%. Like, you guys are right." And I was like, "Oh." And he's like, "I really like that he's like so confident in the public eye about it. Like, he's just rocking the bald head." And I was like,
"Oh my god!"
Man, out of
it's like that is disrespectful. The one video that you showed us of them doing like Max's facial symmetry,
yes,
those are on the same level
Yeah.
of like absolutely roasted for no good reason.
Yeah. There's something about Max's lips that was insane. That was a really weird video. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's in an earlier episode. I couldn't tell you which one it was.
You probably should just listen to all of them to be safe.
Yeah, honestly, to catch up if you haven't seen all of our episodes. They're honestly, oh my god, we're coming up to a year of the new and improved Gears and Glory as well, guys. So we need a birthday episode idea.
Yeah, true. We need to do something special for that.
We'll bake a cake. Oh my god, that's what we'll do. We'll yap and bake a cake together.
Oh my god, that'd be so fun. Maybe we could look into doing like a live stream if enough people are interested.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. We'll put like a poll on our Instagram or something and see what the people want. Yeah. Oh my god. Well, I don't know if this Alpine episode can go anywhere further. This is like,
I was gonna say I think I could certainly keep talking about it, but I don't think I'd say anything new.
Yeah, I don't think I'd say anything important. I would probably just like really rile up those alpha males on TikTok telling us to stop talking. So we're gonna listen to you guys for once and this one time only, because otherwise we'll spiral. On that note, say goodbye to this Alpine episode of Gears and Glory, and goodbye.
Bye.